Welcome, guys. It's not another FPL podcast. It's me and James. We're back after a bit of a Klopp sabbatical. Good to be back. We haven't done a pod since previewing game week, the double game week 26. But we are here now. James, how's it been going?
Yeah, good afternoon, mate. Going quite well. I'll kick off first of all from an overall rank perspective. I've gone from about 1.4 million to just over 1 million. In the mini league, I've moved from 19th to 14th. So yeah, recapping on game week 26, I got 114 points, took a -8. So obviously, yeah, net 106, which was obviously good green arrows. Stand out from that, I actually believe it was, I think, the double Everton clean sheet with Digne, Sonny Boy, obviously, which was nice because I actually wild carded for this, 14 points. Martinez with 12. And yeah, that was pretty much it, really. And then obviously they all played twice. So
And
what about
then
you, mate,
just
for 26?
onto that. Well, you had a nice double game week, didn't you? You got over the magic ton,
Yeah.
which is lovely. Just having a look at your game week 28 score there, 48, which was what 5 above the average. So it's not a bad week. Captain Kane, like most of us did, didn't you? And that was disappointing. Absolute joke that Traore got injured when you put him in, obviously with 29 in mind. But going back a few game weeks since 26, yeah, I scored 88, played the triple captain, slapped it on Kane. That was disappointing because he only managed 24 points. I could have captained 3 other of my back 4 defenders, and they would have all got me well above 30 points, being Trent, Digne, and was it Luke Shaw? I can't even remember. But anyhow, oddly, since we stopped doing a podcast, I've managed to also increase in rank. So I don't know what that is, James, but since we've both stopped talking about it, we've actually done better. I've gone from 301,000 to 186. I just had a good game week then as well, 60 points. Transferred in Donkey. It was nice to see him get a goal because I thought he was more likely to get a clean sheet this week. So it was nice to see him on the score sheet when I was having old Sunday Mother's Day lunch at the Rents Yard. Shouldn't probably say that, but it happens. And I brought in De Bruyne over that time, and he captained him the other game week, and he got 32 points. So that was really good because in the mini league, as you can see here, I don't think many others have De Bruyne, and I have narrowed the gap between rich and poor. And with a shout, more importantly, of this month's Manager of the Month, which concludes after this game week. But I know right now, your old man deserves a big shout out for this achievement. So congratulations, Jonathan Evans.
Yeah, I mean, he actually kept on ringing me every day for the past couple of weeks. In February, maybe exaggerate a bit there, but yeah, he was very nervous towards the end when I think the closest person to him had Martinez and he had that 10 drop. But no, he ended up obviously winning by 48 points, so I have to wire him £30. Not obviously, which I haven't done yet, but no, that's very good. But yeah, March is obviously nearly over already. Obviously, there's still one more, and you and him looking like you're battling out for the money again. So
yeah, I mean, there's not a lot in it this time, but 7 points in 3rd and 4th place there, and 5th. Well, even down to sort of 6th and 7th aren't too far off, are they, off the pace?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously, yeah, recapping, obviously I said my 26. You said you obviously your triple captain in 26 on Kane. 27, obviously your highlight was obviously De Bruyne. I don't think I had any major talking points through 27. Obviously last game week, sorry, probably would have been Kane in 27, wouldn't it? Yeah, 19 points.
Yeah.
19 points. But yeah, moving, I reckon, to not the most appealing of game weeks, but maybe something to play a bit cute and a bit tactical for future. What's your thoughts on game week 29 then, mate?
Well, yeah, it's really interesting because I didn't even notice that I was top of the Manager of the Month until you rang me the other day. about doing this podcast, which is sort of maybe a line in my thinking at the moment. It's not the best game week, as we can see here, and also Arsenal and Spurs, they play in the Europa League, don't they? They have their second leg tie this evening.
Yeah, tonight, yeah.
West Ham's not an easy place to go to for Arsenal.
No, and I don't
And
think Villa
equally,
is either. Villa's not either, I don't think, for
that's
Spurs.
it.
I think the captaincy is going to obviously be the decider in this game week. I've seen a few people trying a free hit, and to be honest with you, I've seen obviously people jumping on this Brighton double treble Brighton at the back. Might pay off, but for me, I've seen Callum Wilson's back training, so I'd be really worried about that because he's the only bloke that I think can actually score.
I don't know though. He done it, so did he? When we put Callum Wilson in our team against, was it Sheffield United?
Yeah, he did.
It was like Sheffield United's best performance ever in Newcastle.
I think it was their first win, wasn't it? Sheffield United. It was their first win. It was their first win, wasn't it, in January? But yeah, no, I think, to be honest with you, the captaincy is going to be big. I think majority will have Kane. I think some loose, how do I want to word him? Some dodgy captain picks probably might be like a Rafinha or maybe a Dunk. I don't know. Maybe are we scarred from the Duffy situation a couple of years ago? A few people captained him.
I'm just going to say, like, we literally could go through this sort of game by game. There's only 4 matches, so you got 2 free transfers, or am I imagining that?
No, I do. Yeah,
I do also, and it's a bit of a shame because I think game week 28 had a few injuries in it, didn't it? So Saka, Bamford,
Traore, Son. Yeah,
Grealish still isn't back.
Say that again, mate.
Grealish is still not back.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's have a look then. So if you look that Fulham Leeds game, I mean Fulham are no pushovers at the moment.
No,
that's a big game.
I think Fulham could win.
Obviously score goals, but what's the standout options from that game?
To be honest with you, I'd have probably either Lookman or Josh Maja for Fulham. I think they look pretty the main threats for Fulham. And I think Leeds' defence has been poor lately. And then obviously, the usual suspects from Leeds, I think, which is your Dallas, Rafinha, and Bamford, obviously, if Bamford's fit. But yeah, maybe the Fulham goalkeeper, I don't know, but I'm not going to transfer in a Fulham keeper. I'm probably Fulham player, so I'm probably talking in the respect of people free hitting, because I don't really want a Fulham player in my team long term, So
yeah, that's fair enough then.
What about you, mate? What's your thoughts for that game?
To be honest, I think you covered them. I think most people are sort of stacked up with Dallas, Rafinha, and Bamford. Like you say, is Bamford fit? Is he not? There was some positive news that come out yesterday saying that the chances he is going to shake off that injury and play. So I'd imagine people are going to have 2, maybe 3 leads. But even so, I'm looking at that, and I'm quite attracted to 1 or 2 Fulham players. I'm sort of, like you said, Lookman could be an option. Neither team are convincing, are they? I don't know what the result's going to be of that game. Leeds can go out and win 4-0. It could be 0-0. Fulham can win 2-1. It really is one of them. So picking who's going to score or assist or get clean sheets is difficult.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Like I say, let's go on to Brighton Newcastle. Brighton obviously are a funny old team because they're actually pretty good at football, like playing the ball around. But they
can't put it in the net.
They can't get it in the net. I mean, it says it all when Dunk score. Trossard's an interesting one, I think. His price point can be a little tricky to get to if you're sort of, because he's just above 6 mil. I think Saka's going to be injured for me, so Saka's got to come out. If I could get to Trossard, I probably would take a gamble on him. I still could.
Yeah, I think that's quite a nice punt. I think that's quite a nice punt. It was actually in my plans. It was either him, Saka, or Traore, and I went with Traore because I thought they had the easier game than Brighton. Who did they actually have last week? Villa and Brighton.
It was Southampton, wasn't it?
Southampton, yeah. Southampton away, wasn't it? And who did Villa have?
Oh, crikey, let's have a quick look.
I
Eh?
can't think. Oh, okay, Newcastle. Yeah, so that's why I went Traore. But yeah, looking now, I think Trossard is probably the best pick for Brighton in the midfield. And obviously, yeah, defensive wise, I do like that. Voutman, obviously in for Lamptey's place. I think he's looking pretty attacking and he's very versatile. I think I've seen the coach saying he can play in a number of positions. So you're probably looking at an outer
I
position player
mean,
there.
it's dunk or no defender for me, if Brighton, if I'm honest. I looked at him.
Yeah, I'm just a bit sour because I was going to get him in this week, simple as, but now I've missed his goal. I'm just probably going to go somewhere different just out of spite. Who? Dunk. I know. Well, he's taking free kicks.
Takes some free kicks, doesn't he? So you can't ignore that.
Well, okay, maybe I just have to suck it up and get him in.
4.9 though, so I understand if
5. He's gone up.
5 now.
He's gone up. Yeah.
Go on, dunk. Slam dunk.
Slam dunk. Right, West Ham, Arsenal then, because I think this is probably
This is a bit of a headache.
Very interesting game.
To be honest, this is a bit of a headache because Fabianski will be in goal for me. I think West Ham get a result.
Yeah,
I can see it, and you know that they're no. When I say a result, it might be. I think a draw's a result for them against Arsenal. I'm drawn obviously to Creswell. I don't think you can ignore him. But if you're going, you could also then say Dawson if you're going at the back. One I am considering is probably Lingard.
Just been called up for England.
He's just been called for England's. If Bamford was confirmed out, 100% out, I eyed up 2 moves because I was thinking about getting Antonio in because they got a little bit of a run after it. And I thought, why not? But now that's a bit of a headache for me. But if I was going West Ham, I'd be looking at Antonio, Lingard, and either Creswell or Dawson. I think you couldn't go too far.
I like Dawson. I do like Dawson. He's very attacking from set pieces, isn't he? What about Arsenal then? Is it Saka and that's it for Arsenal?
Is Saka even an option now? I mean, I did rave about him, and he is in my team. But I mean, he's the player he gets there, but he sort of drops his head, doesn't he? Like he doesn't get over the line and get those points. I wouldn't even say he's the assister to the assister. He's just a good football player that attracts the attention on the pitch. But in doing so, it creates the space for everyone around him. Like you see in Ødegaard, who got his goal. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone gets drawn to Saka. He shimmies and takes on 1 or 2 players, and then it ends up to Ødegaard or Lacazette. I'd be more tempted. I'm looking maybe even a sideways moves and getting Ødegaard in, or whatever you want to call his name.
Yeah.
Careful. But yeah, so really tricky one with Arsenal.
You finished work, haven't you? And you're taking your PC cap off for the day.
I finished work. It's been one of them days as well. But yeah, I can't get too drawn to Arsenal because they play tonight, and I don't know who they're gonna start. But they are also in form, so it is a bit of a headache. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I can't touch Arsenal. I mean, yeah, I don't fancy getting in Saka. I'm going to let Traore just sit there, and he's 5.5 mil. Do you know what I mean? Like if when it comes to it, because I've got such a big squad now after doing my bench boost after the wild card, if he has to sit on my bench for a bit until I, sort bigger problems out in my team, I'll get Traore out. So I'm not looking at Arsenal. I'm probably not even looking at West Ham at the minute. I do like the likes of Lingard and obviously Creswell. Wouldn't put you off them. So yeah, that's my opinion. What about the Villa Spurs game then? Because this is probably where I think most people's captain will be. I think there's also news with Grealish. Is he going to be fit? Which I think is very interesting if he is. So where do you stand there?
Is Jose Mourinho going to lose back-to-back games in the Premier League after taking Tottenham as far as he has so far? Do you know what I mean? Before,
I don't know. I think
he played poor against Arsenal. He got it wrong.
Yeah, he did.
He did. Is he going to lose to Villa, or is my fault? I don't think he will lose that game. I actually think, and I'm a bit sad about this because I've not owned Martinez all season or a Villa defender, but I think Villa are on their fall from grace. I think they have been now for a while, not just because Grealish has been injured. Obviously, that's not helped them, but it was just never sustainable for them to carry on the same path, that the amazing achievement they had in the first half of the season. Because if they did, they'd be top four, and Villa are not a top four team.
No, I totally agree.
But having said that, Spurs are struggling at the moment to not concede a goal, and I think Watkins is always one of those players who is like snatching an assist.
He can nick a goal, can't he?
Or a goal, yeah. So if you are, if you're not confident and you're saying you own Bamford and you think, do you know what, I don't want his 20 minutes, or him might not start in, or might not play at all, then I can see a little move to say to Watkins. I think Grealish is a bit more risky. Even if he comes back, how fit is he really going to be? And he's against a tough team who, like I say, if they went out and smashed Arsenal last game week, I'd say there's more chance of Villa actually getting a bit of a result this game week. But I think they're going to be tight. I think it's going to be a boring game of football. And in saying that, I think there won't be many goals in there. And if anything, I'm more drawn to getting in Regulian or another Spurs defender and taking that chance that they might get an assist to Harry Kane, then I am probably looking at Villa.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I've actually got 3 Villa players. I've got 2 defenders and I've got Traore. So
you didn't like my chat then.
No, I agree with it. I do think, they are obviously not the same beast with out Grealish. I just think they are a little bit more steady than last year. Now, obviously, John Terry's really got a hold of their defence. I don't think they will keep a clean sheet because I probably think Spurs will. Well, I will be captaining Kane. I just think, for me, I'm probably just going to keep him in there. I think they've still got, obviously, that extra game to come. So they will have another double game week within the next, 10 game weeks. So, it's not, I got the Villa boys in for the double game week. So, and they kept a clean sheet. So it wasn't necessarily for this. This was obviously in mind, but just to make up the players. So, no, I think you're right, mate. I think it could be something like a 1-1. I think, but for me, it's going to be a bit of a catch-22 because I'm going to have 2 Villa defenders and I'm probably going to captain Kane. So I can't see myself having a high ceiling. Just get through it and get on to game week 30, mate.
So how many players then do you think will see you through 29?
I think probably 7 or 8
really
would be enough. Yeah, I'm probably going to take out obviously a player that's not playing. It might be surprising to some. For probably Dunk, like we've said. But I think 7 or 8. If the people are going to free hit, then they can obviously fill their boots. But like I said, I think West Ham Arsenal's going to be quite tight. Brighton Newcastle, I think it will be tight, but I think you're banking on obviously the clean sheet Brighton. But do you really want to be wasting one of your chips on a Brighton clean sheet? It sounds a bit
like... It's one of those ones for the free hit, isn't it? Like, is the game week ceiling high enough to warrant free hitting? Like, is it going to be a game week where if you nailed your free hit, you're going to get 70, 80 odd points? Or you're going to nail your free hit and get 40 points to everyone's 25 points? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if I had that free hit, I had 4 or 5 players across those matches, I'd be tempted to leave it and gamble that something at the end of the year is going to come up that might take your fancy.
Last day of the season, probably. There's always goals and there's always things going off. I think I'd done it 2 years ago. I think I ended up getting like a 95 drop, and they all played once, obviously. So it's not necessarily, needed for these game weeks, especially when the fixtures are like this. I think they are very poor. And we are actually lucky that Villa Spurs is in that game week because obviously Everton beat Spurs in the FA Cup. So that could have been a real... I would have had 3 players playing. Do you know what I mean? So
fair enough. I think you mentioned it, but just to confirm, then, are you going Kane captain? Is that the
Kane captain? And I'm actually probably going to take out John Stones. I'm going to love him and leave him. He's got me that last goal. I think he scored 3 or 4 goals for me, or something ridiculous. But no, I just think he doesn't play twice. He doesn't play. There's 2 games. They obviously blank in the next 5. I think when the first game they come back, they've got Leicester away. I fancy Leicester to score because they're looking really good at the minute. So yeah, I'm probably going to take out Stones for Dunk and roll the 2 transfers because game week 30 I think is massive. There's a massive change of fixtures. Like we can see, the first team there is Chelsea against West Brom. I want to be getting on the Chelsea. They're looking absolutely
Early
class.
kickoff, isn't it?
It is the early kickoff, but their games as well. If you look forward, their games are just incredible.
Any outside of the box picks then? Do you think? Because like obviously Harry Kane does look like the standout. If you've got Bale in your team, I mean, I probably wouldn't captain Bale over Harry Kane. But I mean,
maybe a Aubameyang if he's not going to turn up late, and depends how many minutes he plays.
What about Dunk? Would you captain Dunk?
I wouldn't, because I've had previous with captaining a Brighton defender and it got me, I think, a point.
Big double game. Yeah, I think it got me 2.
And that was when they had Cardiff at home, and I remember, and they lost, I think, 2-1. And then they ended up, oh yeah, 100%. So I'm just going to do Kane. So yeah, Kane is just simple for me. There's no point trying to complicate it. But yeah, I think there's more things going on in the pipeline for me. Looking on game week 30. Like I said, I want to hop on Chelsea. And there's a few other teams that I think have got a lot of good fixtures coming up. So what about you, mate?
Yeah, I'm probably going to burn the 2 transfers. I actually kind of wish Bamford was confirmed out injured. It would have made it a little easier to take him out. Saka's got to go. It's now just depends on whether I take out a defender or a midfielder for that second transfer. I'm a bit reluctant to do either, to be honest, but I think I've got to go for the manager of the month, considering I've got that 7-point lead. I don't know what the guys behind me will be doing, but I'm hoping on average there'll be sort of 6 or 7 fielded players. And even
how many you got at the minute?
I'll probably have them 2. So I'm going to have the keeper 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 at the moment, so I can get to probably 7, and hopefully that will get me the money for manager of the month.
Well, you got 6 if Saka plays, so you got Dunk.
He will probably come out. I'm not gonna, to be honest, I'm not gonna take that risk, because even if he does play now, I don't know how convinced I am with him. And plus, there is someone I am eyeing up for that position, so he's most likely to make way, almost guaranteed to. It's just whether I spin the dice on someone else,
Who's that?
I might take out a defender. Either eyeing Creswell up. To be honest, I'm not keeping anything back. I'm just not certain. If I'm honest, I'm not certain.
Okay.
The only thing I'm certain on, I know you're your father's son, and you're probably trying to get as much sap from the tree, but all I can tell you is Saka will be leaving my team.
Okay, but he's not a defender, is he? So he's coming out for a midfielder, isn't he? So we'll move on from that. So what's your should we get straight on to the flutter of the week then? Obviously, I think I've told you my captain. What's your captain, Kano? Or are you going to do something different?
Kane, or I might flip a coin and do it Donkey, see if he can salvage himself from a few seasons ago.
Wow, fair enough. So yeah, like I've said, my big thoughts are, if you want to flip on to game week 30, my big thoughts are for keeping 2 transfers for the change of fixtures. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one, because if you look at these games, I mean, Chelsea at home to West Brom, I've got 3 Leeds, I've got 3 Villa, I've got 2 Spurs if Son's back then. Man United, I've got 2, and I've got 2 Everton. So, I mean, it's really tough. I'm going to have a real benching headache there come game week 30.
That, isn't it? That's a
it is. Week. It is, yeah. It is, definitely.
I might do it.
I've got, you've got your bench boost. I've got my triple captain left. So I'm still waiting for that Spurs game to be dropped, because I think they will definitely have another double, and I'm probably going to stick it on Kane, whenever it is. So, but yeah, so no, I'm thinking later down the line, game week 30, after the international break and everyone's fit, it'll be a real stir up. So Do you fancy doing flutter for the week then, mate? As we both said, we're captaining Kane.
Yeah, go on. Have a look at the flutter. Who you
So,
going?
so I'm actually going to go with Fulham to beat Leeds.
Fulham
So
to beat Leeds. That I'm just looking at. Sorry, I've got my phone to the side of me just to see what the odds are going to be.
All right.
Fulham to beat Leeds. I think that's a really interesting show. You get 6-4 on that, which is
bad.
which is tasty if you fancy that.
I just think they've been quite good. They've been solid lately. Yeah, they just looked. I thought they were brilliant against Man City for that first half, and only because they're playing against probably the best team in Europe at the minute that they just got picked off. But I think Fulham, I think Fulham are looking really good. I think Leeds potentially could be without Bamford, so I don't think they'll score. I think I'm going Fulham.
Well, okay, fair enough. 6-4, take it. Shake your hands. I'm going to say under 2.5 on both of the matches on Sunday. And the
interesting bet.
It's an interesting one. I can't see many goals in West Ham Arsenal, and I think looking at it now, Harry Kane is due a penalty.
I hope so. I
could probably see 1 or 2-0 Spurs. So
They hurt, didn't it? That blank. Obviously, he goes against 19 the week before. It's the game week in before we both captain him, and the game week obviously after you triple captain him. It's just typical. And he could have had. But yeah, no, I think the major talking points is obviously we've obviously had a couple of good. Obviously, I've played my wild card. I've played my bench boost. Come out of the big double game weeks quite nice. Same as Dom. We've both made big gains in the mini league. We've obviously come out obviously of that quite fine. We made obviously gains like we said. This game week now is obviously looking quite strange. Both planning for 30. Dom's fighting John Evans for manager of the month this month.
Coming for you.
He's coming for you, Jono. And congrats on winning manager of the month for February. I'll wire you that 30 quid when I get round to it. But I think, let's enjoy this strange game week and get past the international week as quickly as possible, because I'm not interested in any. I don't know who England have got. I don't know if you know.
To be honest, I don't waste my time on watching unless it's a proper match. I don't go spend 90 minutes doing something else.
Yeah. So no interest in obviously the international game week, and obviously back on the 3rd of April then, mate.
I look forward to obviously addressing who has won, man.
That'll be good.
Good luck to double game week for game week 29.
Blank game week.
Yeah, blank game week. And if you fancy the flutter, the treble coming at 8.1. So
nice.
£5 would get you 45 quid. And just a week shy before hopefully back open. It's a goodbye.
Happy days. It's a goodbye from me.